Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFYL. I know we're in the wee hours of actually Friday morning on December 9th, but this is December 8th show. Just lots going on, had some parties and busy with lots of stuff. So, welcome to IFYL. It's great to have you here. If you're new, just go ahead and grab your smartphone, launch your camera app, point it over to the QR code on the top of the screen, click on the yellow oval and that'll direct you over my link to you with lots of great information to improve the quality of your life. And if you're coming back, welcome back, my friends, colleagues, and wonderful associates. I really do appreciate you coming back and supporting me for all this time. It means a lot that you actually are doing that for me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you're coming back and watching this in a replay, well, welcome. Great to have our replayers back. You can always watch it many, many times and catch all these great nuggets. So let's get right into the master topic, shall we? The master topic is how to reset, series episode number 6. Now, when we think about a reset, I think a lot of people don't quite understand what I mean by reset. So reset is something that we do every day of our lives, okay? And when we choose to reset, we have basically got a new perspective on life, right? And I've said that reset means that we're going to be brought back to the beginning, but it also could mean that we're going to go back to somewhere better than the beginning, right? Could be. Very well could be. But what really is it? Resetting is what we do in life to change the viewpoint of where we're at. And by changing our viewpoint, by changing our perspective, we're able to get back to or get back into the flow. That's what I like to say. So let's talk about some more things that could be reset. So maybe you'll reset an oven. Maybe you will reset a coffee pot, right? Maybe you will reset shelves like in a store. Maybe you will do a reset on there's lots of things. You could do a reset on your car, right? Maybe there's a reset that has to be done after the oil is changed. So all of these are very similar, right? But they're not the same. So when we say reset our car, the oil in our car causes our odometer to get to a certain number, right? I mean, every so many 3,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 miles, depending on what kind of car you have, you need to change your oil, depending on whether that's regular or it could be synthetic. I mean, it could be a lot of different things, right? So when we think about what that is, I think the biggest thing that I want to share with you is that being able to understand that where we are, where a certain point would be in our lives. That's right, a certain point. And by a certain point, we will actually know where we're going. Okay? Where we're going. And so if we could understand that for just a moment, then I think you will get a clear perspective of where it is that we're trying to go. But, we don't always get a perspective immediately. So when we reset a pot, we reset a variety of different things. We get back to a premise of where we are or someplace better than where we are. So what else can we reset in life? Well, we can reset a device by putting in new batteries, right? That's one thing we could do. But what does resetting really, really mean? It means that we're taking the current place of where we are in life, and based on that current place in life, then we're able to go somewhere else. Now, if we think about reset, right? Like resetting shelves. What does resetting shelves mean? Well, resetting shelves actually is pretty cool. It means to put things back, right, the way they were. Okay. It means to put things back. But how does all that work, right? How do we actually get back to where we are? And I think that can be, I guess, a little bit confusing for a lot of people. But I want to share with you that it's not confusing. It's really just understanding something. Hmm. So understanding something is pretty cool. But knowing where we are in life and knowing that when we go to a supermarket, that supermarket is going to have what we want on the shelf. Why? Because the store manager did a reset. That's right. I said they did that they did a reset. So what does a reset really mean? A reset means that we're going to go back to a certain point in time, or we're going to go back to somewhere better in time, right? So let's think for a moment about resetting the shelves. So, in order to reset the shelves, what typically has to happen? Well, first, you have to take inventory. Okay, this is important with anything you reset. You have to take inventory and say, well, where is the current level or what's the current state? Okay, great. Now, by resetting it, do I want to bring it back to the beginning? I could. So if there was a knob and it was all the way to the right, like a timer, and I want to bring it back, so I will observe where it is. I'll turn the knob all the way back to 0. That's one thing, right? Maybe to reset it, I might, instead of turning the knob back to 0, maybe I'm going to turn it back past 0. And that could do something interesting for me too, right? It could do something really interesting. So if we understand that it does something interesting, then what does that really mean to us? Well, it means that we have something very cool. Okay? Something very cool. And when something is very cool, this is when we pay attention. So now that we know what it is, we take inventory and then we actually perform the action. And thereby doing the action, something else can take place. So in the store, in order to reset the shelves, first thing that the store manager or the clerk has to do is they have to observe where the stock level is on the shelves. If they see that everything's bare and naked, then they have to go and restock it. They have to get everything. If it's just a couple items, then they just get those couple items. And the first thing they're going to probably do is check to see that everything's nice and neat on the shelf. Then they're going to push the other items in front of it and make sure that it's nice and neat. All the boxes and the signs are all going the same way from the descriptions. And then they're just going to make sure they hadn't forgotten anything. And as long as they haven't forgotten anything, then they're pretty much they're on the right track. Okay. They are on the right track. But what does that actually mean to someone? I think it means that we as people understand that a reset will bring us back to a point or a better point where the action can be done again, right? I like to give an example for reset, and the one I'm going to use for you is pretty cool. This one is having to do with lifting a house. We lifted our house many years ago. And when the jacks got up to a certain level, they had to do a reset. They had to basically go and do a manual process to get the jack at a certain level. And once they got the jack at a certain level, then they were able to do, what they needed to do. And so what does that mean? Well, it simply means that they were able to continue. And so by being able to continue, they're able to progress. Now, if you went to a supermarket and let's say, I don't know, you were looking for, let's say, Gold's flour, and you were looking for the small packet of Gold flour since it's baking season and for the holidays. And let's say you couldn't find Gold flour. The only thing you could find was a 25-pound bag of gold flour. That wouldn't be so good, right? It would not be so good. And so by not being so good, it might frustrate you that you actually don't have what you think you need. So if you need this type of flour, but you can't get this type of flour, then what do you actually do? How do you actually figure that out? And I think it's pretty cool that you could see where you're going or where something is happening. And so I know that you're probably saying to me, John, you know, I go in the store and the shelves are always fine, but I'm sure you've gone to the store and the shelves are not fine. So in order to get the shelves fine, they have to assess what the inventory is. They have to go get the quantity of items from inventory, and then they need to place the items of inventory on the shelf and make sure everything's nice and neat. So now you could come along and purchase. Another instance for reset, you might have gotten ice cream or maybe soda or a candy bar from one of the vending machines. So when the candy basically put the money in, and what has to happen is the little thing has to spin, and once it spins, it causes the candy or whatever to fall to the shelf. And once it falls to the shelf, sometimes the door has to open, and then it has to reset. A more advanced type of reset would be a machine that makes ice cream, like the Dots. And so first thing it has to do is it has to, it opens the freezer. The robotic arm has to come over, and then it kind of goes down. It's a vacuum, and then basically the vacuum comes on, and then it kind of sucks up the flavor that you want in the right pouch, pulls it up, comes over, comes back to the bin, goes all the way in the bin, so it's like just about touching, and then it releases the vacuum, so it's not causing any type of challenge, right? Or it doesn't damage the actual how can I say, the actual product, which is your ice cream. So reset is something we see everywhere in our world. It's in our lives. It's in other people's lives. It's in animals' lives. There's reset all around us. So to be successful, we have to understand what reset means. We have to know when to do it. And we have to be mindful of when someone else is doing it, so we're not trying to act while a reset is actually in place, or let's say being performed. If we understand all that, then I think we're going to make some really big strides. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, been a pleasure, been an honor to be with you this amazing, well, it's actually Friday morning, but really it's the Thursday night show. Comment below, tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. And then be sure, ladies and gentlemen, to give my video, of course, a like, but share it out with everyone you know, and go to my YouTube channel, John Space C Space MORLEY Space Serial Entrepreneur. Look for that key phrase, help keep our content free. Make a choice, ladies and gentlemen, to click on that PayPal link and buy my team and I a cup of coffee, a bowl of fruit, or a savory dessert. Either way, we'll be grateful for those pennies and dollars. We'll invest them into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping, inspirational, motivational content to empower you to change your life if you really want to. Hey, everyone, I hope you have a great rest of your night. And you know what? I'm actually going to see you guys, you know when? That's right, tomorrow. So be well, and feel free to watch this as many times as you need so that you can review these great nuggets. Take care, everyone.